This is Irontrader, and this is the last call of the day. So, take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and take a look at the indexes, which are just bleeding red. The Dow's down over 1100. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas, along with the EIA report for natural gas. This video is for information from Brazil and not a recommendation to buy any stock market. Yeah, please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin. We have a daily chart, a weekly chart here, and then this is how I trade the long side. It's the 1 minute and the 5 minute chart here, okay? But always, no matter what commodity that you're trading, if it's Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, whatever it is, always have a chart of the actual commodity. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin because actually it's really not doing too bad, okay? Right now, we made a high today of 73,825. Yesterday, we had a high of 74,365. So far, we just have an inside day, okay, which really is not that bad, okay? So what we're looking at here is yesterday's high, looking at 74,365. That's going to be very, very key level. Now, we'll get above that. It's going to be the same old, okay? 77,110 level here. Then we'll come up here to the gap at 79,960. We have that 50-day at 84.62. And then we have that gap fill at 81,210. But what you have to watch here is on this weekly chart, this is going to be very, very critical, is going to be that 8-day at 76,743. Now, again, if you can get above that area, then we can go, the gap to fill, and we can get that 50 SMA here. Then if we get a crack above that, we got a good shot here at hitting all the way up that 87,000 mark, and maybe even that 88,000 mark, okay? But again, one level at a time. Now, what I do like about this is see how that 8-day crossed over that 21-day? That's going to provide very, very nice support, and that's very, very bullish. So even if it comes down, as long as it holds that 8-day and that 21-day, this is looking good to go higher. You can see how we're now have a nice good roll right on up here where we have a low, and higher low situation looking pretty good. Now, this is how I just scalp this here. I just use a 1 minute and a 5 minute. And what I always look for is scenarios like this. We have this low, came on down, and then we came around down to another low. What I'm looking for here is that retest kind of a situation. Now, here we made this lower low, so I was going to buy it, but it never really held that. And then what it did is it rallied up here, and then it had a retest, and it put a nice, good higher low in there. That tells me to take the nice, good scalp long. Same thing on here, okay? So you came right on down, rallied up, and then made another higher low. See, there was my second scalp, and then took it right on top. Now, when you look at here on the top of this, look at this. See this double top situation? Oh, when you see that, you got to get out of the trade kind of a situation, okay? So always do that. Now, I'm right now just scalping it on the long side. I usually do BITI there for the short side, but right now I'm just scalping on the long side because that 8-day crossed that 21-day, and this is looking very, very good, okay? So if you take it out a little bit here and you put it out on a 5 minute chart, it isn't as fast kind of a situation. So when you see this level here come on down, and then we have that double top, came right on down here, and then you can notice that it came in and made that nice higher low. That's what I was looking for, and then another higher low, and then it rallied up. But again, when you see that double top situation, you gotta get out of the trade here and just wait for another setup. Okay, so I scalped it twice today. Really, really good trading here in the old Bitcoin. So again, on the upside, just watch that key right there. That's 76,759. That's going to be very, very key level here. And then we have that top of that candle. You got that 79.60 is your gap, that 50-day, and then we have that fill right there at 81.210 level. That's going to be very, very key. Now, downside, you got to hold this 8-day. That's very, very critical, and that 21-day, okay? That's very, very critical. So if we lose that, we come down to the bottom there at 66,385. We'll come down here at 6,500 flat, and then we have that nice double bottom, 63,940. That we had 63,940 there. And then we had that bottoming candle at 62,590, and then we come down here at 62,480, and then there's your big retest. Obviously, we lose that. Here's your target, 58,875. That's going to be your 200 SMA here if you lose that 6,000. But right now, this looks like it's due a nice, good uptrending situation. So again, for me, this is just a trade. So this is how you have to do it. Take a 1 minute and a 5 minute and just scalp that trade. But just look for signs. Never buy it when it comes all the way down. Wait for it to retest. And if it doesn't hold that level, don't buy it either. Let it roll up here. So you miss a little bit. No big deal. But we caught it right there. Then we had a nice good rally up here. Then we just bought it again. Then we made a nice higher high kind of a situation. And then when you see that double top, boom, I'm out of this whole situation. Now I'm just waiting for a retest. So let's just see what we see when the futures open there at 6 o'clock. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Okay, gold and silver. Now, I've been pointing out this 8 days. See how critical that is? Okay, yesterday we went right up into it. Today we went right up to it. And this morning, if you watch my video, I pointed out this is a bear flag situation going on here. Okay, so you notice that it couldn't get above that 8 day. So if you can't get above there, you're not going higher. Now we're hanging right around that 21 day. That's going to be very key. That is going to be right there at 5,085. We lose it, we'll come down to yesterday's low at 5,005. And then we can venture down here to this 48.68. But then what we're really looking for is that 48.57. That is your 50 SMA. We have a retest down here, 46.70 level, and then your 100-day down at 45.09, and then your big retest down here, all the way down here at 44.23. But right now here we have this bear flag, so just be a little bit cautious. If we, if we get back above that 8 day, well, that would negate that bear flag, and we'd obviously go higher. So this is what you watch on the upside, is that 51.87. Very, very key. Got to get above that. Then we can venture up there, 52.69. We'll come up here, 52.99, and then we have your 53.94, and obviously your big retest up there at 54.34. Then we have to see what the reaction is once again. Does it blast up and aim for that 26 level, or does it hit it again and come right on down? But again, just watch it. Got a possible bear flag situation here, so just be a little bit cautious. Now, your green crossed over your red. I don't like that either. And then we have 51. I did no trading here on the old gold today. Now, silver was a really good scalp. I've been scalping the SLV here, but you can see right now, it's not looking really that good here. I took it out too much. Okay, see, what we're looking at here is you got to get back above the upside right here. You got to get above that 21 day. That's key. Okay, so we have another possible bear flag situation happening there. Okay, so 82.58, you got to get back up there. That's resistance. Next level, 84.83. And then right here is going to be your 87.10. Got to get above that. Okay, just like yesterday, we went right into it. And now we couldn't even make it up there. We made it up to the 50-day, and that was pretty much it. But if we get above that 87.10 level, well, then we just come right up here. You got 88.86 level, we'll come up there. You got 91.98, we'll venture up here at that 94.76, and then 97.30. That's your big retest here, okay? Now, on the downside, we want to watch the bottom of that candle. That's going to be very, very key at 78.06 level. Then we venture down here. You got 77.28. We have a 76.30 level. We'll come down to the bottom there at 71.81. Then we'll be looking for the 100-day here at 69.19. And your retest at 63.90, which is basically just the bottom of the candle. All these blue lines are here is price channels, and all the bottom and tops of candles, they work out fantastic. So, you can use, I use Bollinger Bands, I tried clouds. That's too iffy. These are precise. It's the exact bottom. It's the exact top, okay? Keep your chart simple. 8-day, 21-day, 50-day, 100-day, 200-day. Don't let anybody sell you the rest of that bullshit, because that's all it is, oh, I'm predicting this. Well, did they predict that the Dow's going to be down 1,125 points today? Hell no. Then they want to charge you every time for a month. Oh, yeah, well, this is only $8. Oh, and this is only $10. And this is only $12. Before you know it, you're spending money. Go to Schwab, Thinkorswim charts. They're free. Everything's free. Free trade. Trade 24 hours a day. Don't fall for all that nonsense. Okay, 46 here. That's not overbought or oversold. We have the green coming down below the red. It just looks like now here we made that topping tail yesterday. Looks like we want to at least retest that 70.06, if not lower, kind of a situation. However, if it comes down and holds that 100-day or even at 63.90, that would be a good buying opportunity. If it came down to this 54 level, that would be a really good buying opportunity here to take silver right back up again. Just remember, silver is going to be a very, very useful commodity, because all these data stations, all the stuff that they're building out here, it takes silver, okay, silver to do all that kind of stuff. So just always remember that. All right, let's take a look here now at the old crude oil. Alrighty, here we have the old crude ski, okay? So we have your daily, and then we have your weekly, and then this is how I trade it with the UCO, okay? Now, you'd use SCO for the short ski, but I don't see any sense of going short here right now. I just think you're going to be going higher here, okay? So right now, Iran came out and they said that they hit a tanker ship today. See, that's not good. See, the key to it is with these drones, and I'm not sure. I think they had 1,500 drones or something on that order. I don't know how many they used, but they just send those off, and you hit one of these tanker ships. See, what it is you're disrupted, okay? So right now you got about 1,100 ships, not all, oil, but there are about 1,100 ships in that Strait of Hormuz around that area. And again, if you can't pass through there, that's not good. 20% of all the oil flows through there. However, about 30% of products and LNG and everything else flows there through there too. Okay. Now, Saudi Arabia is going to start adding 206,000 barrels per day, and they're going to go all the way around the Red Sea. Of course, that's going to be very, very expensive. The situation to do that. But if you start hitting these tankers, disruptions, no one's actually going to go through that straight stand, and you're going to be stagnation. That's the key, stagnation. I mean, you can handle that for 5, 6, 7 days, maybe a week or 2 weeks, something like that. Once it starts dragging out here, crude's going higher. Okay, so let's just take a look at where in the hell crude's going to be going here. So we look at the top here, looking at 81.64 level. Okay, so we're looking at this level, obviously 78.40. We're above that. We were about looking at this level here at that 80.77. Okay, we got to watch that 87.7 mark. Okay, now next level here we're going to be going is right there. Okay, 84.52. That's your next level, and then we'll come right to the top of that candle at 87.63 level. Now we do have right here, we have that 89.85 level. We come up here to 92.43, and then there's your big boy right there at 95.03, which you could take it up very, very easily. Now, when you look at the UCO chart, this is why I like this chart. I am just long because the problem is it's not really even giving you a chance to get in. Maybe possible see what happens here at the end of the day here, but we're just driving right on up here. Even these highs here are making kind of a higher high kind of a situation. Now I'm long 5,000 shares, and now I'm trading 3,000 shares here on the upside here daily here. Okay, so right here when we got this double top situation here, I take a little bit off, and now I'm looking for a buying opportunity. We got to see how this is going to shake out and close here by the end of the day. But again, with crude oil here and the situation got going on, they're really the trading is great, but a lot of times with this situation is more like a buy and hold situation, because we are look at the 5-minute chart here, how we're holding this, and you're just trending right on up, kind of all the way here. But again, when you see a double top like this here, then I got out of the trade here, took the 3,000 off. And now I'm just waiting here to do a little buying again. Okay, so this is why I say if you want to trade the crude, UCO is a real easy way to do it. But always put a daily and a weekly. That way it gives you a good really gist on what's going on. Now, if you look at the downside here, okay, we got to be watching right here that 77.98. Okay, that'll be your support level. Then we come down to today's low, looking at 74.97. Then we come down here 73.28. Then we'll be looking right here at that 70.93. Okay, that's going to be your gap. Let me bigger up a little bit for you. Okay, 70.93. Okay, then we can come right down to the bottom there at 70.41. Then we're looking for this gap right here. See that 69.20, and then we're looking for the fill at 67.83, and then we have your 21-day 67.87. Now look at this 50-day 62.83, and your 21-day or 200-day is sitting right there at 62.84. So you're just about pinned right there. This is going to be very, very good support. Now again, situations like this don't last. Okay, so just remember that. This was the last time right here. Okay, Iran-Israel war. Now, this is a whole different war than what that was. That was just they were shooting missiles. They were right in that area. This is the U.S. is in on this here now. So this is a big deal. Saudi Arabia is in on this. All these countries now are back in on this. So this is a big deal. It reminds me almost like that Gulf War situation. Okay, so you got to be a little bit more careful. This is not a 1-day, 2-day, 1 week kind of a situation, because even if they get a peace agreement, that doesn't mean they're going to honor it. They could always just shoot off these drones and kind of situation. And any disruption takes crude oil much, much higher. Okay, so this was last time. He had about 5-6 days worth of that, and crude oil came right on down. And eventually, I think it's going to be a good short. Just not right now. Just let this play out. Let this play out, okay? And then the key level here you want to watch is this 200-day right there, that 75.72. Just watch that. That's going to be very, very critical situation here, and that's on your weekly chart. All right, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All righty, natural gas. Well, this is like watching paint dry. There's really nothing here. I didn't do anything with natural gas today. I don't see where there's much of risk reward. Just for me, just isn't there. Now, natural gas could run up here with the crude situation, but I don't think it's going to run up here because the LNG here, we got to see how that's going to shake out. If this was like going into the wintertime, I would say maybe a little bit different here, but right now I think we're in the shoulder season. we got to see how that shakes out. Okay, so right here, you got right here, your key support level is that going to be that 293 level, and then we'll come to the bottom of that candle at 289, and then we're looking for that 277. Bottom line, then 265, 262. Same old thing I've been saying here for a week or two. I wish I could show you something different. I mean, I could make up some shit, but this is all I got. There's nothing really here. Okay, upside, you want to watch right there, 309. We'll come up here, top of that candle. You're looking at 318, 325, 331, 330, 338. I know this all here by heart already. Okay, and then we'll take a look at that 200-day, which is 356. Okay, so that's going to be your big levels, and then right above it we have that 50-day, 362, and then 387 is going to be your 100 SMA here. Okay, so really there's nothing. You're just stuck right between that 8-day and that 21-day. Now, you're in the shoulder season, which basically means there's really not that much demand for the natural gas product right now. It's really nice out. It's in the 40s or something like that, and and they say, "Oh, 40s, God, that's cold." Not really, because where it was, we were like got to like a minus 15 or 16 like that, and that's cold. That is really cold here. So you're in that shoulder season now. I did a video for midday trading, so check it out. It's all about seasonality charts. There's gold on there and silver on there, crude oil, natural gas, and the Dow, okay? Or you can go to equityclock.com and you can check it out yourself, or anything that you want to do a seasonality over a 20-year period to see what the reaction is. And natural gas is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing, absolute flatline. Okay, let's take a look here now at the indexes. Alrighty, here we have the Dow. Now it's getting better here. It's only down 1,060, okay? So I've been calling for a 5 to 10% correction, okay? So a lot of people say, oh, that's not going to happen now. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm just saying it just looks like when you have these earnings and you get NVIDIA and Amazon and Meta and Microsoft and Apple and Google and Palantir, and you get these blowout numbers and the stocks sell off, that's a red flag to me, okay? So what's going to hold the market up? You're going to do, you count on the Fed to cut rates? That's not going to lower interest rates. It goes by the Treasury, okay, 30-year anyway. So it doesn't really, to me. So again, now you got into a war situation, and this is the catalyst which make it come down here nicely, okay? So I've been pointing out here, see how that 8-day rolled, the 21-day, the 50-day? You're in a downtrend situation, lower high situation. So now you're watching that price channel right there at 47,626. That's the retest. You got to hold that. If not, all you do is bring that price channel right across. See how easy that is? 47,462. Bring this price channel right across. What do you see? 47,263. Okay. Then what you can do is you can head all the way down here. You go up to the top there, 46,857. We come down here to this bottom at that 46,341. But this is what I'm looking for right here, is this 200 SMA, and to see if that holds it. If it doesn't, we could retest all the way down here at that 45,728 level. Very easy. Now, this is not overbought or oversold. Same way with this. This has plenty of room to go to the bottom here. But when you see these cross, I'll always look for multiple flags. When I see companies making $68 billion in 3 months and the stock sells off, I mean, what's wrong with this picture here now? Okay, so trade these charts. That's all you need to do. Okay, long and short. If you're not a short trader, no big deal. Just sit on your hands, wait for opportunity. Okay, now if you look at the seasonality chart, the Dow, the SP, and the Nasdaq, they're all pretty much the same. It sells off, okay, all the way through March. And then what we have to do is then you're looking for buying opportunities to carry that up into April. But it's all going to depend on what this whole war situation is going to be doing. Okay, now we look at the S&P. Well, this is no different. You can see the 21-day rolled, the 8-day rolled. Now we're below the 100 days. Okay, so right now what we're looking for is we're looking right there at that 67.80 level. If it keeps on rolling, you got 67.10. It keeps on rolling. I'm looking for the 200-day at 65.78. Now, this is not overbought or oversold the same way with here. This got plenty of room to roll down, but look at lower high situation. You can come smashing down here very easily. Okay, now we have the Nasdaq. And we had that double top I've been pointing out. When I see that structure like that, and then I can see a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, all this is doing is it coming on down and it's rallying up right into resistance, coming on down, going into resistance, coming on down. I'm looking for this 200 days sitting right there at 2270. And you can come all the way down to this level right here, that 21,898 level. And here you could venture all the way down here to this thing down here to that 925 level. Very easy. This is not overbought, oversold. The same way it was going on here in this chart here. When you see those double top, look for patterns, okay? When you see that, that's another red flag. So you got to add up all those flags together. And when I see that, it just looks like this market's going to go lower. What's going to hold the market up? If you're making $68 billion in 3 months and that's not holding the market up, what's going to hold the market up? Okay, so always remember that. All right, tomorrow's Friday. For me, it's been an absolute really good trading week here. Trading week. I know you got the war situation. It's not a good thing. I don't want no U.S. servicemen here to get hurt, killed, anything on that order. But you gotta, as a trader, you gotta put that aside and you gotta figure out, how am I going to make money off this whole situation? Okay, so right now the trade is long the crude oil, and then I think you can be short the indexes. This is very easy. You can short this here with SDOW. This is very easy. You can short it with STQQ. All right, I'll be here back tomorrow morning, and we'll do it all over again. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.